It's time to take 10 minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.
Welcome to our discussion of parshat Tetze, two aspects of marriage. If we look at the parsha, we have what seems like the mitzvah of getting married. Kigach ish isha uvala. That if when a man takes a woman and he's with her as a husband, and then it goes on to describe divorce. And the question is, that's the description of marriage? When a man takes a woman, why is taking appropriate? Why is it linked immediately with divorce? The original case of marriage in the Torah is a case of divorce. What's going on here? So we have to remember that of course, this is not the only reference to marriage in the Torah. We have, of course, later on, there's a more romantic sort of view. When you take a new wife, you can't go out to war. You can't be involved in any other communal activities. You have to be at home all year with your wife. You should make your wife happy, the wife that you took. So we see very much that marriage is about joy and happiness. We also see that marriage is about love. When Yitzchak took his wife, he loved her. After he married her, he loved her. It was beautiful. We find that Yaakov is love crazed. He's going wild for his wife. He picks up the huge rock. He works for 7 years. The years were nothing abavato, since he loved her so much. Surely we understand the element of love. If you have any doubt, you open Shir HaShirim, and we see that we celebrate the notion of love of a man and a woman, and it's a model for the love of a human being with God. So there's no question about it. Torah does appreciate it. In Malachi, there's a beautiful description of marriage. It says, I can't believe you abandoned God because she's Eshet Nurecha, she's the wife of your youth. Asher ata bagad taba, you were rebellious against her. So there's an element of begidah, of treacherousness, of disloyalty if a man is not faithful to his wife. She is your friend and the wife of your covenant. Marriage is described here as like a covenant. Marriage is described as a friendship. So clearly the Torah is very much aware of the deeper elements of marriage, of the emotional elements of marriage, no question about it. But then again, why was the mitzvah of getting married is introduced just in the context of divorce? If you marry a woman, then you don't like her, then you should write her a writ of divorce and send her out from your house. That's the way marriage is introduced here. So what's going on? So Rav Moshe Lichtenstein once came here to Memphis and he talked about two aspects of Kiddushin. There's a practical element and there's a more romantic element. We know that there are two stages to marriage. There's Kiddushin, which is very practical. She gets something. The man gives a ring to the wife. The man gives something of value to the wife. In the olden days, they might use figs or prunes or whatever they would use, but gave a beautiful something to the wife that she was happy to receive this. And with that, in front of witnesses, they are married. Just the first stage, the marriage, Kiddushin, Erusin, some sort of very serious engagement where that cannot be broken. That's she's considered a married woman at that time, or at least Meurasa, she's an engaged woman, betrothed woman. Then there's a second stage of Nisuin. So we say, okay, what's the second stage? We're not really sure. Maybe it's the standing under the chuppah. Well, that's kind of flimsy. I mean, just standing under the chuppah, it's not a very legal kind of thing. Oh, maybe it's when he takes her in his house. Maybe it's the Sheva Brachos. Maybe it's the Badekin. Maybe it's putting a talus over her head. Maybe it's the veiling at the Badekin. So many different theories. What is it? Well, one thing that's clear, it's not a very legalistic type of stage. This stage is more romantic. For instance, says Rav Lichtenstein, he says, the more practical aspect, you could make conditions. You could say, look, if I give you this fig, you're married to me on condition that I come back from my trip to Bermuda by 30 days. So if he comes back, they're married. If he doesn't come back, they're not married. You can make conditions about Kiddushin. You can't make conditions about chuppah. If man marries a woman with a ring and then he stands under the chuppah, they're married. You can't say, I'm only completing this marriage on the second stage and condition. You can't make a condition. You're standing on the chuppah. That's it. It's done. There's no legalisms. There's no tricks. There's no loopholes when it comes to the second aspect. So there are two aspects of marriage. So perhaps what we have here in Ki Tetze, this bare bones introduction to marriage, a man takes a woman and we say, oh, taking. Rabbis learn that taking involves something of a gift, and so therefore you have to give a gift when you get married. This source, this is the business aspect of marriage, the responsibility aspect of marriage. But everything else, the later story about misimach ishto, making your wife happy, every story we know about marriage and the beauty of it, the romance of it, the love of it, the commitment, the brit, the covenant, all that. That is another aspect of marriage. Perhaps not so much of this kiddushin. This is just the kiddushin. The nisuin has another aspect. The second part of marriage, the chuppah, that has a much different kind of vibe to it. Also, and my son Asher will elaborate on this further, but I'll just say that I heard from Rosenzweig, I'm a chutin, that we compare this taking to the kicha mistei Ephron. He was looking for a burial place for his wife. That's also a beautiful thing. Just like a burial place is something like forever, so too marriage is forever. It's a very serious thing. Of course, there can be divorce, as it's described right here. But in theory, you don't get married to get divorced. You get married as if like this is it. This will be forevermore. And just like the Stei Ephron, it was if you bury someone in a cemetery, you don't assume that they're going to exhume at some point. You bury someone, that's permanent. That's it. That's for good. There are rare circumstances where one could be exhumed, but generally speaking, it's for forever until Mashiach comes, until the revival of the dead. That's it. So when we say that it's a type of taking, we say it's compared to the acquisition of the Stei Ephron, of the first purchase of land in the land of Israel. Abraham's purchase in the land of Israel was not just some purchase like he went to Macy's or Target or something and he got himself a beach chair. The purchase of Ma'aras Machpelah was a link that will never break. We'll always claim the land of Israel because Abraham bought something there, because Yaakov bought some land in Shechem. We will always claim that land because it is a birthright. It is a forever kind of thing. When he buried his wife there as if to say, this will be our plot for the next generations. This is our place. This is our homeland. This is where we belong. So too, when you take a woman, that's it. This is your wife. She's part of your family. She becomes like a blood relative from now on. No question about it. There's also the notion that every time we get married, I like to point out at weddings that I perform that everyone's thinking about love and marriage and joy and simcha. That's great. But the ketubah is there to remind the couple, there's responsibilities here. Now, I'm going to work for you. I'm going to support you. I'm going to provide you your clothing and your food. There are serious responsibilities that come along with marriage. So a healthy marriage is both this ki kach ish. It's this element of taking. It's this element of this a little more transactional kind of thing. Plus, because that leads to responsibility and commitment. And you have to give something. You can't give nothing. You can't give something that's worth nothing. And say, here, marry me with this leaf. No, it doesn't work. There has to be something serious. But at the same time, there is a second aspect of marriage, a more loving and joyful aspect of marriage that every Jewish wedding reflects beautifully. The love, the joy, the simcha. We try to bring so much simcha to a wedding. One might also suggest that since we are talking about the more business aspect of the wedding, the Torah might be saying as follows: if it's just ki kach ish isha, if it's just the business aspect of the wedding, it's transactional. You like her, she's pretty. She likes him. He makes a lot of money. If it's just transactional, and that's what it's all about, then imlotim tzachim beinav v'chatav sefer chidut. Maybe it'll end out that indeed the marriage won't work out, because it has to be about more than the transactional element. Today, men and women like to exchange rings. I wear a ring, I bought it myself. But everyone should know I'm married, that's all. But we don't exchange rings. It's not some kind of an exchange. There's no transactional element to marriage. It's a gift. Gifts are part of courtship. It's romantic. It's not an exchange of gifts. It is a giving of a gift. Or not the other way, fine, it's a question. But if it's an exchange, it's not a gift. A gift is I give you, and I'm not expecting anything in return. It's not transactional. If marriage, indeed, is not transactional, then we can hope, indeed, that it should be hi chaveratecha ve'eshet nurecha, that indeed, wife should always be considered your good friend, and also eshet britecha, the wife of your covenant, and we should understand the deep and emotional and joyful and loving connection that's forged in a marriage, and hopefully that will be something that will stay like the land of Israel in the hands of the Jewish people, la'ad u'lamei lamim, forevermore. Thank you for joining us here at the Baron Hirsch Congregation. Join us each week for the discussion of the parsha and the holidays, and thanks to Jason Lefkowitz, our producer. Thank you.
This has been 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.